Welcome back, artistic ladies and gentlemen, to part 2 of this week's Meta Monday episode with Raikou Eelektrik or Raikou Eels. Check out the first part if you haven't watched it already with the deck analysis and the first 2 battles. Click the video annotation on the screen and that will take you right there. We will go into the second part right here with the last battle of the day. Alright, I am back and something slightly annoying happened here. I disconnected in the tournament, my internet disconnected. So normally when you disconnect you can log back in and continue the tournament if you do that within 5 minutes. But this is what it said when I entered the game. Sorry, no tournaments are currently being run. So they've taken down the tournaments and I believe that's in preparation for today's update for the Fates Collide expansion. So yeah, I wasn't able to get back into the tournament anymore. And that means no finals for us today. What I will do is I will go into the versus ladder and play one more final game into the versus ladder. See if we can pull off a win there. And hopefully we can finish this game before the game goes down. Because I believe the game will be going down in about half an hour or an hour. Maybe even less, yeah. So we are facing Pokémon with a Psychic deck. Maybe a Trevenant break deck. We are going to go first for sure. I don't want to deal with the item lock. I want to set up as much as I can. And we start off with a mulligan. Oh, it's a bats deck. Bats and something else. We start off with bad hands. Start off with Tynamo in the active spots. I'm probably going to Ultra Ball for a Shaymin, discard 1 energy and a VS Seeker, and then attach an energy to the Tynamo so that we can retreat it in the next turn. Unless we can find our Keldeo and a Float Stone. And it's a Drifloon. Interesting. We draw another energy, so I'm going to discard 2 energy instead. Keep the VS Seeker, and our Shaymin is prized. Oh, how about them apples? Let's get out a Raikou then. And we will have to wait to see if we can top deck something at some point. Attach an energy to the Tynamo. And end our turn. Extremely bad turn. Luckily this did not happen in the finals of the tournament. Because if it did, we might have lost the finals as well. You don't want to start with a turn like this. Luckily we do run a fair amount of supporters, so we should be able to draw into a supporter at some point in this game. And my opponent is using the Computer Search. What does the Drifloon do? Drifblim is going to evolve from Drifloon. And what does Drifblim do actually? Oh, Mewtwo-EX Bats, and oh, even a DCE on the Mewtwo. There is a Super Rod, a Sycamore. This Drifloon does have a 2 retreat cost. The Sigilif, we are not scared of it. The Safeguard ability, we do not attack with EX Pokemon except for Seismitoad. And there is a bat as well, so oh my goodness, another bat. This is a really great turn for my opponent, and my opponent plays hammers on top of that. Luckily we have an energy acceleration deck, and luckily we top decked that Rough Seas because we were really hoping to top deck a Rough Seas. Yeah. Oh my. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's counter that stadium and let's see. There's no point energy accelerating onto the Eelektrik really. That's just a waste of energy. We really need a top deck. And my opponent counters the stadium straight away. We will counter it once again. I think my opponent is going to try to retreat the Drifloon. Creepy win, flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is now confused. Maybe I should have left the Eelektrik in the active spot. Power up my Raikou from there, but I don't really want my Eelektrik to get knocked out. And a creepy wins, but it fails. What can we get? Another Tynamo. Let's counter the stadium once again. And pass our turn. Yeah, seeing as though my opponent is not really attacking, maybe I should have left that Eelektrik in the active spot. And a Birch, so we are just top decking here. We are down to 43 cards. We start off with 46, I believe. So it's top deck after top deck for us. As soon as we get going, we should be on our way. It's just this initial this initial hand really is not what we wanted to see. Oh my goodness, Wind Blast. My opponent is targeting the Tynamo there. That's pretty funny. And we get a Float Stone. Let's put that Float Stone on the Eelektrik and end our turn. Is my opponent going to go for another Wind Blast onto our Eelektrik? If it does, we will heal it up with the Rough Seas. If we pull off this game here, I would be so surprised. And my opponent ends us. Our opponent should not have done that. He should not have done that. That is a mistake from my opponent. Definitely a mistake. I'm going to rush in with the Keldeo. Shadow Steel does 50 damage times the number of special energy cards in your opponent's discard pile. We've got 0 there. And a switch into the Mewtwo. Plentiful placement. That's a bit similar to the Wind Blast. The difference is that it's damage counters. And we get hit for 60 by the Mewtwo, that's okay. We are going to rush in anyways. There is a Toad. I don't want to attack with the Toad. Let's accelerate with the Dynamotor onto the Raikou. And then we are going to Sycamore our hand away. It's a bit sad to see, because we'll have to discard those 2 Eelektriks, but we have to do that. We have to find some other Pokemon, maybe a Float Stone even for our Keldeo. We do get a Fighting Fury belt. How many hit points does this Mewtwo have? 170. Well, we do not have a draw supporter in hand for the next turn, so I need to get out a draw supporter. Or maybe a Shaymin. Let's get a Shaymin maybe. Let's discard the Lysandre as well as the Wally. Yeah, let's discard the Wally. And let's get... Do we have the Shaymin in deck? We do not seem to have the Shaymin in deck. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh my goodness. Let's, what should we do? I'm just going to get out another Raikou maybe. Power up another Raikou with our Eelektrik. We have a DCE for it. And AZ up the Keldeo. I think that's what I'm going to do. We are hitting for... Let's see, we are hitting for 70, 80... Yeah, I'm going to get another Raikou out. It's a bit risky. I could have gone for a draw supporter, but that's what we are going to do. Power up 2 Raikous, have a backup attacker ready. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have a Lysandre and another N. So never mind, he ends us. He gets us out of our terrible hand once again. And that is a much better hand right there. Much, much better. Unfortunately, we don't have our AZ anymore, so we need to find a Float Stone. Let's put down this Tynamo. Hopefully it survives. Hopefully it does. Or we could actually... What we could do is we could Wally this Tynamo into an Eelektrik. Right now, how many VA Seekers have used? Only 1. And I think I will do that. I don't want to see the Drift Boom come out. I'm going to Wally that Tynamo. I think that's the safest play here. And then we shall accelerate onto our Raikous. Get 2 Raikous ready to attack. And in the next turn we are going to dig for the Float Stone or another DCE with our N. That is the plan here. Might even use the Level Ball in the next turn just to thin out my deck so that we don't draw into the same Level Ball once again. Our bench is full, so we don't really need Level Balls anymore. I haven't seen my opponent play any Lysandres just yet, nor has he played any VS Seekers. He runs a lot of draw supporters though, a ton of draw supporters. Oh whoa. And he heads on the flip. He's discarding DCE, yes he does. As expected, that's okay. We have our Eelektrik here to work with. And a retreat into the Drifblim, alright. It's going to place damage counters on our Raikou maybe? No, goes for the Eelektrik. Do we have... We should have one more stadium in deck. We get a Colress. We are going to go with Colress. That is for sure. Power up another Raikou. Let's spread out our energies a little bit. And let's use our Level Ball. Level Ball fails. And then we shall Colress for 9. What a Colress this is. And there is the Float Stone we've been looking for, as well as a DCE. So what we shall do is we shall retreat into the Raikou on the bench with the 3 energies attached. Attach a Fighting Fury belt and we should stay alive here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 120. Yeah, my opponent cannot knock out that Raikou unless he attaches... Even if he attaches a DCE, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 20, that's 160. Minus 20, that's 140. That's no knockout. With a Muscle Band, that's 160. With a Muscle Band, that would be a knockout, I believe. So we shall retreat into this Raikou. Then discard some more energies with our Ultra Ball. Gets nothing in our hand. And use our Eelektriks to accelerate once again onto both our Raikous, I think. Because we have energies in hand for both. So that way we have 3 backup attackers or 3 attackers total ready to go. Knockout on the Drifblim here. Bring ourselves down to 5 prizes, same as my opponent. And right now I think we have the advantage. Unless my opponent puts down a series of bats out of the blue here. Because he hasn't put down a single goal bat just yet. That could knock out our Eelektrik. I would love to find our last Rough Seas, heal up that damage on our Pokemon. That would be ideal here. And I could actually go with a Xerosic, discard that DCE to my opponent's Mewtwo. Could for sure do that. But I think we'll see a retreat into the Mewtwo right now, and then an attack with the X-Ball. There is the Mewtwo. And there is the X-Ball for 100 damage. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to retreat into the Raikou on the bench here. Discard 1 energy. Don't really need to use the Keldeo. Then we'll accelerate onto both the Raikous. Actually only 1 Raikou it seems. Because we are out of energy in the discard pile. And then we shall attach the DCE. Prevent my opponent from taking a knockout with his Mewtwo in the next turn. Let's have a look as well at our deck with the Battle Compressor. Let's discard the Battle Compressor. We have 1 more energy in deck. Our stadium seems to be priced. Let's discard the Hex Maniac as well. No need for the Hex Maniac. And another Battle Compressor. And hit for a Thunder Lance onto the Mewtwo. I might actually pick up this Raikou, this damaged Raikou on the bench, or maybe the Raikou in the active spot. If my opponent attacks that Raikou, I'm going to pick it up with the AZ. It has no Fighting Fury belt attached, and now we can put it down again. Making it really tough on our opponent here to get knockouts. Never mind, there is an N. It's the second time when we want to use our AZ here that our opponent ends us, but we draw into the AZ anyways. We draw into it. If we could get the Rough Seas from the prizes here, that would be fantastic. That would be Karp-tastic. I would love a Rough Seas. Oh, and 20 damage onto the Raikou on the bench. Luckily, it has that Fighting Fury belt. Can my opponent find another Golbat? And does he actually play VS Seeker? We haven't seen a single VS Seeker just yet. And a retreat into the Sigilyph. Interesting. Huh. Interesting indeed. Do I pick up this Raikou now? That's the question here. Do I pick that one up and leave this one in the active spots? I think I will, because with some bats that Raikou can go down. Fortunately we don't have a VS Seeker. I would love a VS Seeker for Lysandre right now. So I'm going to pick up this Raikou on the bench. And then put it back down again. Attach a Fighting Fury Bell to it once more. And accelerate some energies back onto our Raikou. And we shall knock out the Sigilyph. My opponent is trying to hold on here. Trying to hold on to the game, but is slowly slipping out of his hands. He's losing attackers left and right. He's just got the Mewtwo and the Sigilyph. That's all he's got. The Mewtwo can for sure knock out our Raikou, but then we will respond with a knockout of our own on the Mewtwo. And that would put us firmly in the lead, leave our opponent without any decent attackers against us. We even get another Raikou from the prizes. Still haven't seen a Rough Seas. So where is my opponent going to put the 20 damage from the Golbat? Puts it onto the Eelektrik. Okay, I really want to find my Rough Seas now. My opponent just needs a Crobat, and that would do it for him. And another N. How many N's does he play? Jesus. That's his 4th N. 3 Birches, a Sycamore. And there is the Golbat. That's going to be a knockout on our Eelektrik. So our Rough Seas definitely let us down here this game. Things are changing a little bit right now. We will have to try to work with just the one Eelektrik. Luckily we've got a lot of energy on the board. So we should be able to deal with this situation. I'm going to shuffle back some Tynamos and some Eelektriks, I think, into my deck. The only thing that could threaten them is the Drifloon. That's the only thing, and I would appreciate it if my opponent could attack us right now. Oh, so he's still doing things. Very long turn for my opponent, and it's going to attack us with the Toxicroak EX instead of the Mewtwo. So he is definitely trying to hang on to his attackers. We will retreat, Lysandre out the Mewtwo. I will also, yeah, so we will retreat our Raikou, Lysandre out the Mewtwo, and then put this fresh Raikou in the active spot. I think that's what we should do here. And before we do that, we are going to shuffle back one Tynamo, one Eelektrik, and maybe just another Eelektrik. Why not? We have one more Tynamo in our prizes somewhere. And then it's time for the knockout. Lysandre out that Mewtwo. Hopefully get our Rough Seas from the prizes. And slowly start healing up our benched Raikous. Oh, this is the moment of truth, and there it is. There is the Rough Seas as well as the Tynamo. So that was a good turn of prizes for us right there. Our opponent could start sniping us with the skill dive from the Crobat, but we have our Rough Seas now. We can heal up. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have any more dimension values, and he should not. He has 3 in a discard pile. The 4th one is in play. There is a skill dive. What is it going to target? It's going to target that Raikou on our bench, but he only does 10 damage because of our ability. So we are going to put down a new Tynamo, counter the stadium, start healing up. And I think we will try to get the knockout on this Crobat here. Let's see if we can get enough energies onto our Raikou. But we cannot. We just miss 1 energy to accelerate. Do I want to use a Lysandre? Lysandre out the Toxicroak. That would be my fourth 4th VS Seeker, my last one. So actually I want to make good use of this Lysandre. I want to get a knockout here. And I think we shall try to get a knockout on the remaining attacker of my opponent, the Sigilif. Get a knockout on there. Bring ourselves down to 1 prize. And I believe that's it. I believe this is game. We even get an N, which would bring ourselves down to 1 card. So yeah, I'm not going to use that. We know my opponent doesn't have any more Ns. He might have some VS Seekers, but I don't think he plays any. So we won't see any more Ns this game. Luckily enough, we've seen enough Ns. And if we can top deck an energy, we can knock out this Crobat. If not, we'll Sycamore and try to dig for the energy that way. But our opponent is going to retreat into the Toxicroak anyways, as expected. We do not really care, because we are just going to retreat and promote another Raikou. Our Raikous are healing up, so we even have this one on the bench ready to go, which is going to be fully healed up by using the Rough Seas. Let's retreat into the Raikou and hit for the Thunderlands. There's nothing else we need to do here. Thunderlands for 120. Oh, my Wi-Fi symbol was flashing there. Hopefully I did not disconnect. Yeah, it was flashing once again, so I might have disconnected there once more. But it seems like my opponent is still in a game, and the game is still working. He's really dragging this out, isn't he? He's really trying to drag this out as much as he can. But I don't know, maybe he should just concede, because there is very little point to what he's trying to do here. We have the game. There is no way he can still take this game. And oh wow, my Eelektrik is hanging midair. He's yeah, the game is not very stable for me today. The game timer just ran down. It says 0 seconds remaining, and my Eelektrik is still floating in mid-air. So I think either I've been disconnected, or the game has gone in maintenance, servers have been shut down, and we have been shut out of the game. It's nearly 3 o'clock, so I think that's what will have happened here. Let's see if I can stay in the game if I concede. What happens? And nothing happens when I concede, so I think that is indeed an indication that servers have been shut down. We will leave it here. I'm going to say that we took the win here on this anti-climax, or maybe climax, depending on how you want to see it. Climax at the end of the game. Leave a like if you enjoyed this episode with all its bugs and glitches, and subscribe to my channel for more TCGO bugs and glitches. Gotta love them indeed. I hope you have a truly Karp-tastic day, and I will see you next time.
Karp, 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 Karp.